Hello, hello. How's everyone doing out there? Peasant Chat. Peasant Chat. We talk to poor people every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. in the morning, just to talk some shit so you can get going with your Sunday before you go to church or whatever the hell you do on Sundays. Today we're going to talk about something interesting. I had a bunch of things to talk about, namely Texas 2K, a bunch of other subject matters, but something came up on Patreon, which is very interesting that somebody mentioned. Somebody reached out to me on Patreon. Guy's name's Jasso. And he said, look, I'm looking to buy a car, and it's like a Mach 1, and it has all these things, but it was tuned by a competitor. And we had subsequent conversations, and I said, you know what's interesting about buying a modified car that has been tuned by Lund, or let's just say Lund, because no one really else offers this service. You can at least know that the way that car was built, let's say if we actually sent a tune to the person, the tune was vetted, the parts are favorable, and if the tune was completed and done, the tuning process went well, meaning no hacking, no covering up of vacuum leaks, no covering up of transmission issues with pressures or early shifts. The car you're getting is a vetted car if you buy a Lund tuned Mustang. Now people are selling their cars apparently right before summer hits. A lot of people are putting their cars up for sales, and I could make the case that buying a, let's just say, performance-based Mustang, not just a cruiser, is as good, if not better, than buying a car with like a certified vehicle report because of the history that we have on that car. We'll talk about that. And then up and coming Texas 2K stuff. What are you looking out for, Texas 2K? I'm just going to watch it as a fan on Flow Racing or something like that, whatever, because I don't have any dog in this fight. I think I'll be honest with you, the Lunds have not communicated with me at all. And I think they know that I'm just not into that racing situation. So I'm going to find out with you guys whether they're going or not, because I have no fucking idea. I literally turn on the laptop and tune, and that is my job. They know the racing side of things in terms of going out to go racing in a company fashion is not something I personally want to do. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck, but what does not suck are the sponsors of the show. We got PMAS, Nick James. PMAS, best colder intakes, best MAF sensors, best of everything when it comes to induction and measuring of airflow. The guy's excellent. He's a gem. He's a very underrated person in the industry. So check out Nick James PMAS and all of his products. Oh my God, cookies! They sent me 2 YDBT cookies. What a blast from the past. Oatmeal, fucking sea salt caramel with a bunch of chocolate. I'm like, my God. Perfect cookie. Check out domagotcookies.com. They might be offering the YDBT cookie. I might do like a giveaway on Tuesday or something. Just buy you a bunch of cookies. DNAPperformance.com. You can buy all your new parts there. They got a tax season sale going on. Check them out. Make sure you put the Amory or YDBT at checkout so that they know that we sent you over there, so that they might be able to give you a bit of a discount. Partsarm.com. They also have an Amory/YDBT discount. Put both of them in. Just tell them I sent you. They might give you, I think, 10% off of parts. They got a bunch of Coyote stuff. Boss 302 motors and GT500 motors are hot over there, and I suspect you're going to get a lot of those going forward. Again, the Gen 1 is the Fox body of our generation. To our solution, he went 860s with a customer's GT500, a 2020 and up GT500. I think it's the quickest and fastest GT500 in Puerto Rico with the stock blower. And he went 9.4s, stick shift in a Boss 302. Check out Rami Zaidan in Caguas, Puerto Rico. If you want to get your car worked on. And Bellac Industries. That's right, Bellac. You know what's a great thing that's happening with Bellac? And I really like? I like the fact that people are selling Bellacs and they go out of their way to say, real Bellacs, not some hodgepodge bullshit. And that actually is a nice thing to see. richprinceusa.com/collections/YDBT. If you want to support the show and get some merchandise while you're at it, you're going to get YDBT and Emery hats, YDBT and Emery trucker style hats, Dolo hats, Shiesty, Section 8 shirts and hoodies, the new style, Hush Money shirts and hoodies, ZR50 shirts and hoodies, Booty Juice shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice shirts and hoodies, Emery shirts and hoodies, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, S650, 85 to 86, and 87 to 93. Save the Manuals shirts, 1320 Didios if you want to visit Thailand and let everyone know that you like little boys, F1320, YDBT, Emery, Vertical, all the goodies there, and we also have stickers for the people. Maxed Out Lawyer, that's right, Maxed Out Lawyer, your Emery lawyer of choice. Check him out in Louisiana, 337-239-6292. He's a racer. He's cool as shit. He literally gives away parts on Patreon. Patreon has become probably the most underrated thing I would have thought that would have happened, because not only is it out earning YouTube, it's a place I go to often to help customers. I'll give you an example. I understand that a lot of people that get Lund Tune on this channel and on Patreon go there because I'm involved. So if you're a Lund Racing customer that has issues on Patreon, I might help you, because if you had an issue or something like that, I'm going to be like, well, these are the people that I'm kind of responsible for, because people will say, well, you're double dipping. Not really. Technically, these people wouldn't have even gotten a Lund Tune if I wasn't involved. So the fact that they're on Patreon supporting and they have issues there, I will help your issue there. If it's something I can export, if there's something I can fix. If not, I'll at least guide you to like, hey, hit them up Monday morning, talk to your tuner. But we had an issue with a serial number mismatch and ended up fixing it last night. And that's another added perk of joining Patreon. Not only that, you get great parts, giveaways, and you have a community that isn't full of fuckboys. We moderate it properly. If anyone gets out of line, they're fucking gone. So it's one of those things where, yes, it's $15 a month, but you will absolutely cut through the bullshit with Patreon, meaning you're not going to really get duped on Patreon like you would anywhere else. Christopher Dixon, Josh Roy, Ken McAllister, Ricky Whedon, fucking Shinebox, Robo Style, Redbird, Eddie Freiberg, Jesse Mercado, Bilavez, Z33, Camsilla, Big Guns, Monty 40, Clint Stroke, Six Suki, Kyle Winsky, Coyote Kelly, Slick, Craig Walls says good morning everyone. Matt Oliver says good morning. The cold windy storm laid north. Still snowing, and I made the side hustle for my 8 hours. The thing we do in the name of money, such as life. D-Rock Fox, Their Story, Luis Torres, No Voice, Ray, I'm Hung So Low, Nardi Mercado, 956 Oscar, Rich 50, Matt Oliver, Southern Indiana, Matt Oliver again. Wow, this thing just skipped. Semi-retired street racer, Matt Francis. Trust me, I will get you your cold air out. The box is right there. I'm just in Corvette plumbing hell right now. Jaybird, ATX Cobra, Mark Christensen, my AC is barking, Mustang Dennis, Garrett Staten, Matt Oliver, Reverend Racing, 956 Oscar, JD Swag, Agent Orange, 3 Valve Joe, Mr. King, Daniel Nux, CCW Fox, 6 Hills, Coyote Kelly, Coyote Austin, 6 Hills again. Head Games, I bought my Supercharged Boss. That is Lund Tune. Now, let me ask you, Head Games, because maybe you were not in the Coyote space as heavy as I am. Did the fact that it was Lund tuned make it a positive? Did you go, well, it's Lund tuned, so that means the data logs came back a certain way? And maybe if you believe the online weirdos that are like, oh, they're too safe. Well, I'd rather be too safe than on the ragged edge. Like a lot of people that are like, I want ragged edge tuning on 93 octane boosted. You want ragged edge tuning on that? Can you afford a motor? Well, no. Okay, then why do you want ragged edge tuning? Just let me know. What's up, Alex? Says Dave Birdie Miles, 6 says Frosty, T-Hut, ESS 10 speed. We don't say that here. You might want to change that name. Coyote Austin, Flyjock, Coyote Kelly, Derek Fox, Jonathan Shong, Alfredo Diaz, Matt Oliver, and all the usual suspects. And before I forget, we need to understand this. Since I've been on 6 or 7 years, I have members that have kids that have watched the show for a long time. So one of the craziest things I've actually come across is people, let me see, where is it? That's not it. Is it on this one? Is it on this one? People that have had kids that have been watching me since they were like 6, since they were like, so we're raising the next generation of racer here. So it is an interesting thing that a gentleman reached out to me and he's like, hey, my son entered this IHRA event in his truck. Where is it? Sent from here it is. Ah, man, I'm looking for the proper photo. There it is. So the guy's name is Brian Dugan, and his son is Matthew Dugan, Drugan, Grugan, and he's like, Alex, my son watches you. He's 13, which is suspect that you're letting your son watch, a show that is pretty potty mouthed, but I want to make sure I center everything. I want to get the whole family in here. So apparently they went to a race in his father's F-150, and the kid won like an event in his father's F-150. And here's the family right here. There's mom, dad, and the son, Brian and Matthew. And he says he's been watching me since forever. He's 13 years old. How does a 13-year-old get in a truck and go racing? But you need to understand what we're influencing here. We're influencing the future. And I appreciate Matthew. I appreciate Brian for watching the show. And congratulations on winning something over there. Let me see. His name is Matthew. And my 13-year-old Matthew Drugan watches you on YouTube. He was in and won his first IHRA event in his my 19 F-150. You would blow his mind if you would mention it. So, hey, congratulations, buddy. I appreciate that. And we're basically raising the next generation. And what my goal is to make sure that we're raising people that don't fall into the bullshit racing trap of betting, of becoming a bad person, a bad actor, operating in bad faith. You need to understand, like, we're trying, it's not easy, but we're trying to kind of like make sure that we bring people to the right path, because there's a lot of fuckboys out there that fall into the bullshit. So I want to make sure that says, why no YDBT merch from Rich Prince USA? What do you mean no YDBT merch? Every single shirt has this. Every single shirt has this. Okay, let's not get off kilter. Okay, so let's say you are looking for a used performance-based Mustang, whether it's turbo, supercharged, or even NA. I can make the case that the history of that car, if it was Lund tuned, is not only documented, but it's verified. And at least you know that there's someone that you can reach out to and say, hey, I need to know the history of this car, whether it blew up, whether it had vacuum leaks. Now, I don't think it's our responsibility to tell you every single little thing about this car. I think we can give you that, hey, man, this car tuned well. We guided them in the right direction to get the proper parts. We obviously have a list of preferred parts that we like in Mustangs that we tune because of just experience. Like ID 1050X, injector dynamics is always going to be the standard for Lund racing, in my opinion. They're going to be like, I want an injector dynamics injector. Why? The data is great. Typically, I know that if, for example, if I have a ID 1050X and a PMAS cold air, fueling is done, meaning the PMAS cold air is verified data. The 1050X is verified data. If all of a sudden the car is trimming in or out more than 10% fuel, I am comfortable enough in looking at that data and going, something's off with the intake system, something's off with the exhaust system, something. And especially on swaps, the swaps are becoming hot and heavy, and F100, it is exploding. It's not popular, it's exploding. For whatever reason, the F100 is way more popular to Coyote swap than a Fox body. Now, guys, I actually was talking to Jake about something yesterday, and I'm so happy he agreed with me that it made me go, okay, we're on the right path, and we'll talk about that later. But stay on subject, Alex. So every time, even when a swap vehicle happens, and if you're buying a swap vehicle, was it Lund tuned? Again, a lot of the tuners will just say, oh, the Lunds don't want to do the extra effort because they just want cookie cutter tunes. If it's got 1050Xs and a PMAS, I should not have to touch fueling. Like, understand that if it's got an 18 manifold, Boss manifold, stock manifold, Cobra Jet manifold, if it's got a PMAS and 1050Xs, I should not have to touch fueling. Should not. If there's a variable up and down, okay, maybe you got some ethanol in there, maybe you got non-ethanol based fuel in there, but we can, ask the questions and go from there. So you know that someone like me or someone at Lund has been trained to go list by list, okay, until everything is verified. And then if the car was tuned, finalized, and running, you have the peace of mind of going, I know this car was verified and tuned by Lund, so that gives me the peace of mind that the car is mechanically sound. If it was tuned by anybody else, because look, these guys will hack it 30%, they'll throw a bunch of fuel at it, they'll modify the tune based on the changes that you see, because I've seen it in person, okay? I've seen people go, well, this car was tuned by this tuner, now it's tuned by you. Okay, what's it got? PMAS, 1050Xs, and a TVS. It's off 40%. Well, it wasn't with my last tune. Cool fucking story, buddy. It's off 40%. So I don't care what they did. It's on our data. It's not good. And come to find out, this thing has exhaust leaks. Come to find out, it's got O2 spacers. Come to find out, the O2s are too close to the end of the pipe. A bunch of hackery happened for this car to be within spec. So if you're out there spending your hard-earned money, $50,000 or more dollars on a car, and it's not Lund tuned, you are just basically rolling the dice and hoping that this car was tuned right. Now let's look into the psychology of someone that does not get a Lund tune. Let's look in the what do they think about Lund? What do they think about the industry? What do they know? And would you buy a car from that person? If you guys out there that are selling race cars that are not Lund tuned on a stock computer, the psychology, your thought process is absolutely flawed, because that means you either hate how Lund does work, meaning they vet every single little thing, and you think you're owed manipulated files when the list should. It's like taking off an airplane and not going through your checklist, flaps, this, fuel mixture. You just say, you know what? Fuck half the checklist. It lifted off. Okay, and then halfway through your flight or in your ascend, you're like, oh shit, I forgot that. Why is it not? And you're boom, the thing goes right into the ground. So a lot of people need to understand that the psychology of someone selling a modded car without a Lund tune needs to be studied, because that means they purposely ignored the people that vet your file the most. So are you going to buy a car from a person that got their car tuned from anyone else but Lund? Cool. Tell me how you think they operate. Tell me how you think their brain works. Because you have to be like, something's missing here. You have to willfully ignore the fact that Lund has done so much for the industry in terms of vetting and in terms of like proper data. We can make or break certain software based on how we think it operates. A lot of people usually come up to Lund and they want something like a feature added in a tune, right? And unless they operate the way the Lunds like to operate, that usually makes or breaks that software or hardware, whether it's an injector, whether it's a cold air. Cold airs are interesting. Remember the P51 debacle? I didn't say, this gives it the Lund seal of approval. No, I said it tuned okay, but then the next one didn't. And then you change it to the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then somebody else made a similar P51, a 120 millimeter. And I'm like, oh my God, stop making intakes that have the same name, but then there's a D, A, B, Q after it. So we were just done with that shit and said, you know what? We don't support it. Get a PMAS and be done. Then they get mad. Well, you got mad because you don't operate how the tuner that vets the file the most likes to operate, only because we like seeing data that looks a certain way. And if you buy a car that has vetted stuff, you can rest assured this thing's going to perform great. So a lot of people hit us up and say, I'm trying to buy this car. Here's the VIN number. What do you know about it? Well, the last time we tuned it was 2024. It had 1050Xs and a Halion twin turbo kit. Oh no, this thing has a custom turbo kit and 1750s. Then it's not tuned by us because we don't have that anywhere in the system. So that's one of those things that I think is a hidden perk of buying a Lund-tuned car, because it's almost as good as a Carfax, or now Carfax can be manipulated. It's almost as good as buying a certified. Imagine having a certified pre-owned service of modded vehicles, and Lund Tune has the most history and data on that vehicle, giving you the peace of mind to buy that vehicle. That's all I'm saying. And I think it's an interesting thing to talk about. TX2K, we can talk a little bit about that, but I'm not like excited for TX2K. It's cool. It's just another event for me now. I just don't go out of my way to support it because it's kind of irrelevant to what I got going on. The only thing I'm going to look out for is if the street car class A, B, and C end up being 7-second classes. Because then now you pretty much have taken street out of the name. I know you guys are going to be like, whoa, what makes a street car? Do you understand what constitutes a 7-second car? Like, Tell me what kind of fuel it runs. Tell me the exhaust setup. Tell me street does not mean John Force slapping a plate on a top fuel car and driving it down Clematis. That technically is street for a lot of people, especially the garage racers and the no prep weirdos on the planet, that they're like, street car. And I'm like, front tubular, like not a street car. The Fairmont, not a street car. Just because it can enter street car classes, it's not a street car. Collier, not a street car. The GT500 is a street car, believe it or not. I can drive that thing anywhere legally. Collier, I cannot. It'll get pulled over in a heartbeat. It's not going to be a fun car. So I think the street car class in Texas 2K will be interesting if it is a 7-second class in the first 3 tiers, like Pro, Sport, and Yippity-Doo. I don't know what the fuck they call C, or the third fastest class. Because then that means you and I, as laymen, as normals, as casuals, can't even compete in that. Like, where do we fit? Where do we compete? That's why True Street was a thing when NMRA was a thing, but NMRA failed. And NMRA failed because of NMRA. NMRA didn't fail because of any other reason. So if any of the remnants of NMRA are trying to prop up classes, and when you start going in there, you're like, oh, I just realized this is just the skeleton of NMRA doing things. There's a reason it failed, because I think they cater to certain race classes that the vast majority of people do not fit. So the nice thing about TX2K for a long time was you can run 9 seconds in the quarter mile and maybe make it on the 3rd tier of streetcar class. If the 1, 2, and 3 tiers are 6 and 7 seconds fast, it's over for street car. And where do you fit in if you have a 10-second, 9-second car and you want to go to Texas 2K? Probably stick shift, qualify number 32, get bumped in the first round, and there goes 4 days of you being at an event and get a total of 4 passes. And then you start going, I'm going to street race, because that's when you actually have get some licks in. Pretty crazy. Live chat. Why didn't live chat pop up? What's happened? There you go. It's funny. I see cars built by some other Mustang shops and it's always tuned by someone else. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to understand, even the sorry shops, maybe you don't fit the Lund mold, or maybe you say, we're going to get tuned, but we're going to offer all the tuners through one shop, meaning we're a shop and we are, what's agnostic. My voice is fucked. We are agnostic as to who the customer wants to get tuned by. So we don't care if it's Lund, this, that, this, or that. We're going to get, okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you have the most communication with a Lund tuned car from your shop? Do they do more vetting? Do they ask more questions? Yes? So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can make the case that the shop doesn't like that, because shops have to make money hand over fist. So they're like, oh my God, 2 tunes in from Bobo shop and this thing was done. Was it really though? Was it really? And then let's say you have issues and, they ghost you, which is like a thing. It's like a thing to be ghosted by certain tuners. But then you get a Lund tuned car, let's say in the same week, and Devin hits you up. Then maybe Parker hits you up, maybe Nardi hits you up and says, I don't like the MAF location, I don't like the injector, I think it looked, and you're like, oh my God, these guys are just the biggest pains in the ass. But you find issues. Oh shit, they found a leak. Oh shit, my exhaust was loose. Oh shit, the manifold wasn't tight. Oh shit, an O-ring was leaking because it rolled when I installed it. That's a properly vetted car. And I think that's a more quality tune because of the vetting process. Or do you not care because you're a shop and you need to get paid on Friday and you just slam cars out of the door, and people after 2 tunes shoving 30% fuel, 15% fuel, 10% fuel, turning off fuel trims at idle because you have an on-3 kit? Do you prefer that because you get paid? Warren Howard says, 2024, Pro Charge headers, 1050X return system, Lund tune. The base file ended up being the final tune. That's how vetted their shit is. And this is what Warren Howard, this is what the casuals will say. Well, that tune's no good. They didn't even adjust it. We adjusted it 80 times before we built the file and sent it out to the customers. So 1050X's, awesome. Pro Charger doesn't matter because it's map based. So you got the proper map sensor, you got the proper injector, you got your fuel system working good, and E85 9.85 stoic, 20 degrees of spark advance, and the car runs 940s, 950s. Like, and then they go, well, you know, every car tunes different. Not when it has proper injector, proper map or MAF, and proper fuel. And everything works wonderfully. Your file just gets ka-chunk to cars that are all the same. And in my opinion, that's how shops should operate. But again, I'm not a shop. So shops should be like, this is our stage 1 package. This is a Lund Tune 1050X centrifugal supercharged 24 Mustang with long tube headers. Stage 1. Stage 2, fuel system and E85. And stage 3, built motor or more boost. Right? And then you just cookie cutter that shit so we can just go like every single supercharged 24 and up F-150 has been a godsend to work with. Every supercharged 24 and up Mustang has been a godsend to work with. Map, fuel, done. And if there's an issue, like right now, there's an issue with one of, I'm not going to name the shop because I don't want them to get, gaslit or whatever. But when I see a fueling issue on a 24 Mustang with 1050Xs and a fuel system, I'm like, something's wrong mechanically because the file is that vetted. And I guarantee he's going to find an issue sooner than later. Kyle says, thanks again for the help with my tune last night. Getting data logs done this morning. This gentleman hit me up on Patreon. He hit up the chat, the tech chat. There is a tech chat on Patreon. Great chat. And he said, hey, I'm having issues with my LRX. So after I worked on the Corvette all last night, I got online and boom, went right to Patreon, having, food and just watch. Oh shit, this guy's having issues. He showed a picture of his serial number. I looked it up online, didn't have issue, didn't find his ticket, which was a clue. Hit up Junior, hey, this ticket is having an issue. Do you think there's an issue with the servers, with LRX? He goes, no, send me the serial. Sent them the serial. Goes, the serial looks wrong. It has too many characters. I go, that's the issue. So went back, verified his serial number, updated the ticket to the proper serial, exported the tune to the proper serial, and boom, he got his tune at 9 at night. So because he is a Patreon sub, I'm going to look out for the dude. Absolutely. And he's a Lund customer. Or they get better margin on the price because those tuners are desperate. I think tuning is too cheap for Mustang. I'll be honest with you guys, and maybe you guys will agree or disagree. I think tuning should be more, but the problem is, right, then there's a volume issue. We thought that by raising the price, it would kind of indicate to the market, hey, we tend to be more vetting, meaning a lot of people correlate the price with the amount of tunes they get. And no, that's not it at all. It's the vetting process. Again, maybe you guys don't know what vetting process is. Maybe you're Mexican and you don't know the word. But it is verifying everything. Meaning, okay, you got 1050Xs? Yep, show me it. So you as a customer are either annoyed or glad that they did that. Oh, okay, here's the body, here's the tip. Cool. Put it in, put this tune in. It's off 30%. Did you smoke test the car? Smoke test the car. Oh my God, I found a massive leak at the back of the manifold. My bad. So others would have gone, got 1050Xs? Yup. Here's a tune. And it's multiplied by 30% under like 2.5 MAF hertz. Under the idles, stock cars idle like under 2.0 MAF hertz frequency. So I'm like, if they just slammed it 30% underneath there, if they fix the issue later, they're going to be 30% rich. And sure enough, guys, I've seen that happen live. I've seen people go, Alex, there's an issue. I'm like, it's like 14% off. And that's like on the threshold of like adjusting or vetting. So the price is not necessarily the amount of tunes you get. The price is the verifying and the attention to detail that we would give you. And just because you get one tune after paying a higher price, you should not be disappointed. You should go, well, because they asked me 1,000 questions, they sent me a tune and it was on the money. Imagine we asked no questions, sent you a tune, it was off, and then we sent a tune, and then ghost you. You would probably go, well, at least they sent me 6 tunes. The Lund only sent me 1. I'm like, but did that one work after the vetting? the psychology of people that don't get Lund tuned with a high-end Mustang that makes over 800 horsepower needs to be studied. I know a guy who got ghosted by a Florida tuner, and it wasn't the lungs, AO. Tried telling him to use Lund as I was using Lund. He didn't want to, and he struggled getting it tuned. Facts. Other tuners have never owned and vetted the platform. That's the biggest the craziest work I've seen in a very long time is when you get tuned by a tuner that has never owned the vehicle. Right now, the GT500, I'll give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. And again, this is mechanical knowledge along with tuning knowledge. Collier had a Kenny Bell 168. So I know that tune's fine, meaning that car has been running for 4 years. Kenny Bell 168 working. So I got another 168 from Lund Racing, and I upgraded the gears to plastic. But I didn't have a motor. So I had extra motors lying around. I slapped the motor on, put it on Collier. Why? Because I know Collier's tune is fine. So if the new Kenny Bell 168 goes in there and acts up, I know it's mechanical. So I did that. Collier fail-safe. Okay. So right off the bat, should I start adjusting the tune? No. It had a Kenny Bell 168. When I installed a different Kenny Bell 168 that I messed with, it's the throttle body. So what do? Go in there and start messing with throttle angles? No. I take the throttle body off, I open it up, and I go like this with the motor, and it feels like it's catching. I get another motor, put it in, put it back on Collier, vroom, vroom, go around the block, put it on the two-step, never fail-safed. Now I know this throttle body is good, so then I put it in the blue GT500, knowing the throttle body is good because I vetted it on Collier. If you didn't have either vehicle or the hardware, how the fuck would you know what's wrong with the car? So when these tuners offer tunes for monoblades and then it fails, and then they're like, well, it's the tune, or, oh, it's a Lund tuned car and the throttle body's fail-safing, so I want to switch tuners, and then you pay extra money, and that new tuner says, I think you have a mechanical issue. Well, that's what the Lund said, but you now told me it was the tune. Now I'm in for $800. I didn't want to listen to the Lund saying it was a mechanical issue, but now you're telling me it's a mechanical issue. If I tell you there's a mechanical issue with a certain amount of data in the tune and you pay someone else to tune it and you have the same issue, joke's on you, buddy. And again, how did I vet that? I have both vehicles. I have 3 Gen 1 basically cars, and I vetted a Kenny Bell 168, which is a very difficult throttle body to tune, on 2 cars to vet the tune and to vet it mechanically. And it's been running great for a while now. The blue car, I just drive it. I can give you some tunes on it, but I just ran out of time. I want to hyper concentrate on the Corvette. I want to get that thing running sooner than later. At least with Lund, you get more than what you pay for. See, the thing is, 24s are not that hard to tune, Nardi Mercado. A lot of these tuners are not touching the trans calibration. And a lot of tuners that are having issues with it shift never knew how to tune 10R80s back in the day, because it's similar. So a lot of the guys that are having trouble with the 24 and up, when it makes big power shifting, it's a tell. It's a tell. It's like you're playing poker with somebody and they always reach for their ear when they're bluffing. It's a tell when a tuner has trouble with a car shifting when it's a very similar layout to Gen 3, because they don't have a file to reference. There's background stuff. There's stuff that they did in other software baked into the base file that they have no idea that was done. So then when they get their hands on a 24 and just jack up power, put it on a dyno, and in one gear it makes power, but then when you go and try to make it shift, it just doesn't shift. That's when they realize, oh shit, maybe I've been working off of vetted, stolen files forever, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And they won't tell you that. All you have to do is see it. Oh, look, it hit a limiter. Why? When I sold my 19 Edelbrock 2650 car, the guy that bought it only bought it because it was Lund tuned with an N-gauge, like an idle, but also raises IST. It can, Jerry. Yo, Alex, Peasant question here. Can you school me on why Roush 2.3 blowers can't get ghost cam tunes? It's really the only issue making me lean towards twin turbo. That is a very goofy and weird thing to want a tune for a ghost cam. If you want a tune for a ghost cam. Now, when you ghost cam a car, you put the cams in a position with heavy overlap. That causes a low vacuum condition. The low vacuum condition makes the bypass shut. Unless you're, and again, you guys are going to take this and think that we're like, yeah, we'll totally provide a ghost cam tune for your car if you do the following. No. Think of it this way. If the tuner doesn't want to give you a ghost cam tune, he's not going to give you a ghost cam tune. End of sentence. If he's going to give it to you, he feels that it will be something that you're not going to bother him on because it is free. They don't charge you. Free. Like, please understand that it is a free tune, not something you pay for. So if you have a TVS car, Gen 2, and then all of a sudden, or even Gen 1, if you have a low vacuum condition and the bypass shuts, you're going to have IAT issues at idle. Unless you get a low vacuum bypass. Alex, should I get a low vacuum bypass to get a ghost cam tune? You're not listening. You're just not listening. Yeah, exactly, Matthew. Yeah, they can do that. I'm not gonna offer that here. Kevin Rojas says, "Hey, Alex, will Lund 2 my Gen 2 Paxton and Stage 2 are okay?" You need to understand something. That fuel system is not vetted as good as a 4 Innovations fuel system. So why don't you buy a 4 Innovations fuel system? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you need to understand another thing. That fuel system was made by an ex-Lund Racing employee that left under interesting circumstances. So you need to understand there's backstories to everything. But nothing is as vetted as a 4 Innovations fuel system. So why would you buy that fuel system? The reason you would buy that fuel system is the same reason you would buy a non-Lund tune, right? Because think about it. If you want a Lund tune, why buy parts on a car that Lund doesn't necessarily love? Will it work? Maybe. Will we disclaim it? Yeah, maybe. We'll be like, hey, we'll tune it, but if you have issues going forward, don't look at us. Don't look at us. That fuel system has a regulator here. The Stage 3 has that. We've seen issues with every other fuel system. Now, a lot of people will say the absolute dumbest shit. Well, I want to be able to race with 5 miles to empty. Excuse me, what? So you bought a fuel system, and the selling point is, well, I can race it on low fuel. Could you imagine you're like a racer, right? A racer. And you're about to go race, and you're like, yeah, don't fill it up. What? Yeah, don't fill it up. So the possibility of inducing issues will be there. Imagine you're John Force, right? You're like, yeah, just give me a half tank this time. But what if like issues get induced because of the lack of fuel? Well, it doesn't happen with this fuel system. Wait. But you need to understand the thought process over saying, I bought it so that I can race on low fuel is fucking weird. It's fucking weird. Matt Oliver says, sarcasm. The data log knows all and tells all, but a good tuner can tune out mechanical issues. Technically, they can. Think about it, Matt Oliver. But it's not, it's a mask. It's putting a Band-Aid on a cut as opposed to like letting it heal. It's very interesting. Okay, T-Hunt, I mean, I don't understand. Do you watch the show? Do you watch the show? It's not that I dislike the dude. It's you need to understand what my position is, right? You see these guys up here? I'm gonna school you a little bit on this. You see everyone on the screen right now? You see everybody on the screen right now? These are the people I fuck with. Max Out, PMAS, Oh My God, DNA, Parts Farm, 2 Auto, Bellac. They pay a monthly nut and they operate in good faith. Okay? I'm not saying because you're not on this screen, you're a bad person. I'm not saying that because you're not on this screen, you shouldn't buy parts from that person. What I'm saying is these are the people I fuck with. Okay? And I fuck with them because they operate in good faith. So take that for what it's worth. Like, I don't understand why you want me to say something positive about a part you want to buy. Why do you need my blue check mark to say, yep, this part's good? Well, Alex, it used to be good. Now it's not good. So you're telling me when I promote something, it's good for eternity. Or maybe something happened in the middle of all that made me say, you know what? I'm going to just separate myself from this situation. Like, why do people need the absolute, tell me the story so I know? You're going to buy it or not buy it, regardless of what I say, right? So let's say I tell you the story. You're like, well, that has nothing to do with the part. Right. But it also tells you, like, I fuck with people that operate and walk a certain way. And if you don't walk and operate and move a certain way, then I'm not going to fuck with you. So why does it need to be like explained? Buy it if you want. If you have a bad experience, handle it with them. What the fuck? Like, even if I verify everything with PMAS and all that, let's say you have a bad experience with people that I fuck with. Is it now my fault that I recommended them? Come on, man. Come on. You don't need to know everything and anything. Hit them up. If you like them, if you like what they're saying, and they promise you the world, get apart from them. Like, get apart from them. Like, dude, what the fuck? Alex, is the DCT and the GT500 unlocked yet? No. To be honest, I really like the stock calibration, just asking. I know they can be a weak part of the car, but my needs, I just cruise and occasionally the highway. Then why do you need to? Is it unlocked yet? I just cruise and occasional highway pulls. Is it unlocked yet? I just cruise and do highway pulls. Did you read your comment before you sent it? Why do you need it unlocked to do that? I would understand if you would have been like, I'm making 1,500 horsepower and I want to launch and cut a 160 foot. Is the DCT unlocked yet? I cruise and do occasional highway pulls. Is it unlocked yet? Exactly. So what? So why do you need it? Hey, is tuning unlocked for the GT500 yet? The reason I want to know is because I want to keep it stock and go to car shows. Would a full tank put weight on the rear wheels and help with traction? People are goofy. I got into a argument with a fuel system. What the fuck? Just get on this dick already. People just hit me up at the goofiest time. Oh my God, nonstop. I'm going to shut this off. Get out of here. Shut up. So he was like, well, that's a safety hazard. A safety hazard? I said, why don't you just race with a full tank of fuel? That's a safety hazard. Excuse me? So every single race car that starts a fucking race, every single race car that starts a race is unsafe because it's got a full tank of fuel? I was like, oh my God. And guys, that's just the problem with this industry. People don't make connections. People don't make logical points. They're like women. It's an emotional thing. It's an emotional thing with racing. It's not logical. What about what it makes with 93 shops? Exactly. With dual pumps, I can't race on low fuel. I learned the hard way. What wheels are those on the Mustang? 5-spoke deep dish. Don't know what you're talking about. Quality slipped according to Patreon. Quality slipped according to Patreon. Okay, that's interesting because I have not dealt with them since the 2019 Mustang at all. Anybody know the cylinder head temp range and what temperatures it stresses the motor? Hate to ask, but I've chased Google and it's inconsistent. I mean, Coyotes run hot, right? Hotter than if you're coming from a Fox body or a Camaro, you're gonna look at the cylinder head temperature or the coolant temp, and you're gonna go 210. That's weird. 210 at idle, sitting still at a light for 5 minutes. Is my motor going to blow up? And you're like, it's a stock car, right? And then the performance package ones have like slightly lower temps. And I'm sure it has to do with how the air comes across. And I don't think it's a different thermostat or anything. I just think it's the cooling that these cars have. It's an emissions thing. You need to understand all of the modern things that are happening with Mustangs that are not normal. It's an emissions thing, right? So if you want your car to run cooler, just put a 180 thermostat on it. And again, the 180 thermostat will mechanically open at 180, you fucking retard. Okay? Because you guys go, well, my fans have to come on at 180. Why? Tell me why your fan needs to come on at the exact temperature the thermostat needs to open. Because what do the fans do when the car is moving? Do you want your car to perform at optimum temperatures idling? Because that's the only reason you would want the fans turned on at the exact temperature of the thermostat opening. Because the moment you move the car, guess what your fan is? The earth. Because it's pushing air into the grill. I would argue that when you are moving, the fan does fuck all. So if your temps climb a little bit at idle when you come to a stop, it's not a big deal. Oh, 181? I got a 180 thermostat. Well, you don't think the motor heats up? Thermostat opens, but the motor is still hot until the coolant actually does the work and then starts to bring the engine temperature down? You guys are just the goofiest sons of bitches that go, I need my fans on full blast at 180 because I don't want it getting past 180. And I'm like, and then I have to explain that typing. Sir, the earth is your fan. Guys, again, there was somebody that literally said that a plane would take off if it was on a treadmill, if a plane was on a treadmill that theoretically could make the tires go 300 miles an hour, and the plane is thrusting so that the plane doesn't fall off of the theoretical treadmill. And if he pulled back on the stick, would it take off? And he said, yes, it would take off. Listen, it has 0 ground speed. It is thrusting fast enough to maintain itself on a theoretical treadmill at 300 miles an hour. And if you were to just take the treadmill away immediately and pull back on the stick, he thought that plane would take off. That person has a fucking license to fly planes. So when you say, well, I fly a plane, well, that don't mean shit. That means the process is ridiculously flawed. Thank you so much, Jasso. $50. He's the one that brought up the subject matter for today's show. Why doesn't he just leave it stock then? Right. I'm a technician. Oh. He's a technician and he's asking, is the DCT unlocked yet so I can go cruising? I love you, man. I love you. Appreciate that. Ask Master Lawyer about making pulls with a low tank of gas. Exactly. Eat breakfast or you will be hungry. But the rod's flying out at 200 miles an hour because it's lean. It's way more safe. Thank you, Green Zero Roush. Appreciate that very much. Love it when people say they need more fan because it's running hot on the highway. Yeah, you have other issues if it's doing that. The base GTs come with a 190 thermostat and the performance pack comes with a 180. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I'll have to look into it. I'm not saying you're not wrong because I don't know anything about the 24 and up. But the regular GTs, I don't think come with a 190 thermostat. I think they come with a 20 something. What if there was free spin? What if there was a free spin on the highway? If you're going to gamble and run low fuel, at least something like a Hydromac pickup suck. Gotcha. Wasted Trash Panda says, haven't had a Mustang since 2020. Just bought a 1982. Glad to see Alex is based as fuck. Why'd you go anywhere? Alex, is GTD unlocked? I just want to ride out to Cars and Coffee and occasionally the Nürburgring. I'm an expert drag racer because I have a driver's license. Wow, someone didn't eat breakfast today. If a bird had its wings closed, would it just float in the air? So I said lift to that person. Yeah, I just needed to change my thermostat on a 22. There you go. I didn't know that. That's good to know that they had. I didn't know that performance package. I thought they had better cooling, meaning more capacity. But if they physically have a cooler thermostat, that makes sense on the performance package. I don't know that. I didn't know that. But yeah, I actually asked this person if the plane would take off. They said yeah, and I'm just like mind blown. Can you turn my fans on at watt? I want more air to go faster. One Bad Cobra says, I got a 180 thermostat in my Mach 1. On the highway, cylinder head temperature is 185. The tune from Whipple Supercharger does not change any fan settings, I believe. It is a mechanical advantage. That's it. It just opens sooner. So the coolant runs through the engine earlier. And if you are exchanging the heat more often, it'll keep the engine cooler. But the fans generally do not need to be adjusted because those are mostly for idle. So at idle, you're going to see cylinder head temps get up to 205 or something at idle. So I don't understand why you guys need the fans on when you put on. Again, we'll do it. But the logical explanation for that, it just eludes people. Mythbusters tested that plane on a treadmill theory. Why would they? Like, did it take off? It was like, woo, and it's not moving. There is no lift happening on the wings. And then they took the treadmill down. Imagine we're like, oh, there it goes. Like, what the fuck just happened? Off topic, says Tiger Brown. I can't believe in the last episode about overrated car, nobody mentioned the Honda S2000. That's crazy. You know, I guess that's my issue that I'm not. Look, there are a lot of people that have general knowledge about a lot of things, but I guess my focus is hyper specific on Ford, Mustang, small block Ford included, because sometimes I guarantee there are people that are on this chat and I say something that makes them go, what the fuck? How does he remember that? An FMU, a Vortec S trim, the big stupid, turnbuckle that was the crank support, the Igloo aftercooler, all this stuff, right? People are going to be like, well, he's a small block Ford guy. Like he remembers small block Ford. And this is my issue with the Godzilla. The small block Ford is better than the Godzilla. The small block Ford is better than the Godzilla. That's why the Godzilla is so fucking stupid. So if you're going to, somebody showed me a beautiful green hatchback 4i somewhere, and it was built beautiful. Then I saw it had a Godzilla and my boner went right away. I went, oh, that's fucking stupid. But again, cool car, cool story, cool cruiser. So let me ask you a question, right? Fox body. You take a small block Ford, whether it's a 351, 302, stroked out 408 or 427 or a 460, and you just go like this. And it fits a Fox. There it is. It fits a Fox body. Beautiful. Tell me what you have to buy in order to fit a Godzilla in a Fox body. I believe a front cover. I believe a different oil pan, right? And what is the price of those two things? It's probably a couple of $1,000s on its own. So now how much horsepower do you make on a Godzilla, the 7.3 variant, right? How much horsepower does a bone stock Godzilla make after you buy the timing cover, I believe? Don't quote me because I don't care. And on the oil pan. Because if you look at that Wolf Racing guy, the stuff to make it fit a Fox body is astronomically expensive. 1. 2, it is heavy as fucking shit. 3, it is tall as fucking shit, right? So by the time you price up a Godzilla to put it in a Fox body, if you have done 0 modifications to the engine to make power, how much horsepower you got in that thing? What is it, 400? I don't think it crests 500. Let me see. What's the highest horsepower stock Godzilla? No, they're going to take Megodzilla because engine that is OEM. I think it's 460 horsepower or something like that. 7.3 liter. The highest horsepower, according to Google, because it is AI. The highest horsepower OEM engine is a 7.3 liter V8, which produces 430 horsepower. 430 horsepower at 7.3 liters is fucking embarrassing in 2026. So, let's say I would have bought a regular Joe Schmo short block from Roush, Ford Performance, Prestige Motorsport, not Joe Schmo, but some guy built it, because I contend that you could take a stock rotating 5.8 assembly, put a badass cam in it, put some AFRs on it, a good intake, and you're going to make that kind of power sip to the flywheel and probably to the rear wheel. My notchback made 460 rear wheel horsepower, and I suspect it was a 408 Windsor carbureted, and it did it on pump gas. So there's a reason that I am not turned on by the Godzilla, because what's it cost to modify that thing to make decent horsepower and to make it fit a Fox body? You're well into the $15,000 range. So why not just get a small block Ford that fits it and it's period correct? Because now people are loving period correct builds. So anytime I see a Godzilla in a Fox body, immediate turn off. It's either got to have a Coyote, technology, power, boost, and fuel, or a period correct small block Ford that makes more power for less money than a Godzilla. So I am not impressed by any Godzilla swapped Fox body. Period. End of sentence. And I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go with LS swapping either. But when it comes for price, yeah, absolutely. But it's gay as shit. I had Catalytics on my 17 GT. That's still the way to go with my 19 GT. Long tubes, worth it over that. I can't find any delete pipes anymore. There's a reason. Semi-daily, some dig racing. I would do long tubes if I were you, to be honest. I wouldn't really do cat delete pipes, because you have to do some crazy modifications for 19 GTs, similar to Gen 2s, where you have to like weld to. I would just get a set of long tubes if you can afford it. What's crazy is I saw a Marauder for $40,000 with 50,000 miles on it. What a joke. Highly overpriced, but I'm going to say the S2000s are fun as shit to drive. People easily forget you had an 86 4i. Crazy. So who better to trust with the Mustang than someone who cut their teeth on a Fox body? People forget my history. See, a lot of Johnny-come-latelys don't know what I did, where I came from, how I got my knowledge. Yeah, I was never a badass outlaw 10.5 racer, but you would be crazy to listen to me about normal stuff if my only experience was in outlaw 10.5 Mustang. Like when you watch Stevie Fast, he's a badass pro mod racer, right? Can you relate to him? Can you relate to him? I can't. I'm like, pro mod. And then he's talking about like, tell me what kind of fajitas you. I'm like, fajitas, right? So I'd rather stay in my lane where I can tell you about all Fox body Mustangs. I can tell you about most Gen 1 Coyote, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4 Coyote stuff that is relevant to the audience, as opposed to my 10.5 Outlaw, Pro 5.0, Pro Charge, Hemi. I'm like, that's not relatable to anybody. You need to relate to the vast majority of the audience, and the vast majority of the audience makes $50,000 to $75,000 a year. They don't give a fuck about your pro mod. They don't give a fuck about your Pro 5, your Pro 10.5 car. Simple. 430, yeah, just give me the Gen 4 Coyote crate motor with 460. Exactly. My uncle's friend made 550 on Pump 91. You're wrong. Oh my God. Tell me how much it cost him to do that. Tell me how much it cost your uncle's friend. Here we go. My uncle of my. Unless he's being funny. Making me want to track down my 93 coupe and want to buy back. I'd love to find my 86, but can't find it. I think it's been finger fisted. It's over. Like after you see a car get finger fucked like that, you're like, I'm good. Coyote or a small block Ford in a Fox is the only way. There should be like 10 commandments about Fox bodies. And number one is thou shalt not Godzilla or thou shalt not Godzilla swap it. Number two, thou shalt not LS swap it. Number three, Boy, I could do a Fox Body 10 Commandments. We'll have to like maybe do it on Patreon, and then make a post, make like an AI post about it with, you know, who was it? Moses, the Fox Body 10 Commandments. Coyote would be my go-to with the Fox. Just make it fit. It's not. What do you mean make it fit? You buy a K member and it fits. Stock oil pan. At UPS, we have V10 Ford still hanging around and now getting the Godzilla. The Godzilla moves a brick around very well, but falls on its face at 4,000 RPMs. If I had a Fox, I'd probably get the small block Ford, honestly, or maybe a big block if I feel like being stupid. I agree. I would love to get a big block Ford, 460, dumb shit. But then you're like, because let's be honest, it's kind of outrageous in terms of price to build a high horsepower small block Ford. Now, the Fairmont, that one is, I might piss a lot of people off with what I want to do with that car, but I'm not going to talk about it until I actually even get close to it. Corvette is the main focus. Get the Corvette running. Donnie's running. Collier's running. The GT500's running. Get the Corvette running. Facts, I just want to floor it home from work, and I don't care about Pro Mod. My friend of a friend, brother's nephew's horse made 550. Okay, maybe that's what it means. Yeah, no BMR parts. What about Big Block Ford? Look, I don't know enough about the Big Block Ford game, but I'd love to get into it. It's just probably equally as expensive. The problem with Big Block Chevy stuff is just it makes so much power cheap, and it's so reliable. Like, I guarantee right now, Craig Walls is probably like, he retracted his statement. He's like, he probably ran over. He probably chopped up another body and put it in some kind of like off ramp. He retracted his statement. I think what should happen, what was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Because I got fucked up no BMR parts. I don't know where I was going. Oh, Big Block Chevy. It's hard to ignore how much power. You have a teal 93 Cobra? When the fuck did you get that? I don't know. Did he? Who did you have to put in the wood chipper? Who did you have to put in the wood chipper to have that happen? Let me see. I saw this the other day. I thought it'd be interesting. Human. Let me see. Let me see if this is this comes up. I saw somebody take a mannequin type thing and run it through a wood chip. Maybe it's on Twitter. Twitter has better stuff. Let me see. Let me just do a search. Twitter's search needs help, but I'll figure it out. Let me see. Wood chipper human. Wood chipper. What'd you find an actual? It was like one of those science things where they made a mannequin. And they actually threw a mannequin through a wood chipper. And I was like, whoa. Wood chipper. Nah, I can't. It's all trans stuff. Why that? Sometimes I hate Twitter. Fuck it. I'll try it another time. I didn't know you had I didn't know you had a teal 93 Cobra. I saw that Craig Walls, you want a Hellcat swap on 93 Cobra? The problem is, luckily you got a good pad, so they're not going to get in there. And make it fit. Do you forget that Power by the Hour are the go-to for coyote swap vehicles? Yeah, VK50. No, I'm not putting any Nissan. I'm not putting any Jap shit in a Mustang. Make Fox Body 10 Commandments and part of the whiteboard series. That'd be interesting. I'm working on my Turbo 30686 T-Top Fox Body. T-Top, Jesus Christ. Fox Body right now as I'm listening to this. Can't get the Terminator X working correctly. Oh, big surprise. I am blown away that Holly, and again, no fault of the Holly, but fuck Holly. Godzillas are horrible engines compared to the 6.8 V10 in a service truck. Way more unreliable, lots of engine failures. Plus, for some reason, we can't keep plug wires from failing. Your favorite engine builder, Steve Morris, is working on the Godzilla platform. Perfect. His platform, the SMX, is just like a modern marvel of a failure. How is it that another company that assembled your shit runs a better number than your shit? Imagine I'm Alejandro Flores Industries. I make Alejandro Flores Industries parts. And then someone else takes my parts and does a better job with my parts. What does that tell you about me? So Steve Morris fucking with Godzilla's great. I can't wait till that ends up in, what's his son's name? Kyle, I think. Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we got a car that runs water through it, and we got a Godzilla motor in it. So we're going to go out and we're going to put it in Kyle's car, and we're going to do drag week with it. Next episode, it blew up. This is amazing. Guess what, guys? The rods that I put in there are fucking junk, and they just fell out the bit. So we're going to rebuild it again and put it in Kyle's car again. Put it in Kyle's car. Next video thumbnail, it exploded and went into orbit. Then I'm like, why do people watch you? I stopped watching. When, hey guys, what's going on? I ended up putting up a torque storm, and I almost died. Check out the next channel when a turbine wheel went right across my eye. Look, you see this? You see it right here? See it right here? This was when Torque Storm exploded and almost took my eyeballs out. This right here was when the rods blew up in my SMX. And check it, I got it on video. And I'm like, why do people watch you? You're going to die. Like, stop working on reciprocating equipment. If you get into gardening, you know, I was using the hoe and it go. It's like, are you Super Dave? Like you must have like the worst luck. How do you afford these machines in your shop if like every other video is a failure? People must be gluttons for punishment, or they want to be like, whoa, my engine made it on their channel. Tons of carnage. We had a guy local to me put through a wood chipper. Shit. Been a cold case for 20 years. Now over $150,000 reward for it. Ontario as well. Oh, Ontario. What, did he lose a hockey game? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the Godzilla heavier than the Coyote? Oh yeah, by like 200 pounds. How heavy is a Godzilla? Look, it knew. It knew. Godzilla. Engine. Fucking thing gave me actual Godzilla weight. 580. 580. Engine. Fucking 450. 130 pounds heavier of a whole Latina. A whole big booty Latina heavier than a Coyote. Okay? Think about that. Think about that. Look at your wife. Well, not half of you guys. Half of you guys got fat, ugly wives. Look at your hot. If you happen to have a hot 5'2" big booty Latina, that is the difference in weight between a Coyote and a 7.3 Godzilla. Unreal. Hell, I can't build a motor to blow up. I need a channel, right? My grandfather and I almost have his 70 Charger Resto Mod ready to drive. I think way in the future. I have 5 leftover money. I'd like to put a Coyote in it just for shits and giggles. Yeah, it's not a shits and giggles motor. You know what I'm saying? Terminator X was a hell of a turntable. Turn it up, bring the noise. Steve Morse is probably in the files. Nice. Comparing the 7.3 to the 6AV 10 is hilarious, considering that you're comparing junk engine to another junk engine. Steve Morse, new reference for Stockholm Syndrome? I mean, it has to be. Because, like, if you look at his channel thumbnails, it's like, explosion happened. I died. I died. I tell you about it on my... No. I would never subscribe to his channel. Fuck, you gotta be fucking goofy. No, videos, not shorts. Who cares? Videos. Look at this. You guys thought I was kidding, right? You guys didn't think I was kidding. I'm just saying that. Look at this. Steve Morris's channel. It's never done this before. It's too big. Rod broke. Why did this do this so bad? What happened? It's exploded. That's not the way it works. Huge problem. I can fix it. Everyone else broke. Yeah, but Cletus broke it. Everything's wrong. Biggest mistake ever. Destroyed us. Godzilla gone wrong. Kyle fucked up. Kyle fucked up. Bro, like, why does anyone watch this channel? To learn or to see, like, what they fuck up? It's crazy to run a business and publicly promote how you fuck up everything. It's crazy. I don't like him. Super Dave, what's the heaviest LSLT? Who knows? My favorite is when Steve makes clickbait thumbnails. Cletus, talk to me. Cletus looked in my direction. So if she's riding in your Mustang, it's like having a Godzilla. Correct, gentlemen. If your big booty Latina is in your Coyote Swap car, it feels the same weight as if it had a Godzilla in it. Good morning, everyone. Guess what I'm buying? The Camry. Don't know what you're talking about. I bet that huge SFI bell housing adapter weighs a fair amount too for the truck engine. Wait, what? Whoa. Okay, John Lucas. Now you're cluing me in on something. Okay. Godzilla swap SFI bell housing. Bro, if this thing is like the lunar lander. Why would you look at a Godzilla, guys? It's like the lunar lander. How heavy is it? QuickTime bell housing, Ford modular, and Godzilla. So it's the same for both? Then that doesn't make sense. $1,013. Yeah, no, I don't. It looks to be the same, John. So maybe we're off on that, but it looked big, but I don't think. I don't know. Look, like at the end of the day, if you're gonna get a Godzilla, get a Godzilla. I don't give a shit. But I'm just blown away that people like still fuck with it. 10R80Q says, "Love for the win. Racing in TX2K roll this week. Thanks for all the knowledge. Shout out for Junior for the amazing tuning on the car and knowledge. Hey, 10R80Q, good luck. Hopefully everything goes well at Texas 2K. We'll be watching." His customers say the thing after one pass. John Lucas, Steve is trying the Whistling Diesel approach. Whistling Diesel now is a rage baiting channel that gets arrested. It's the look at me, I got arrested again channel. So again, there's a reason why you guys should watch something and there's a reason why you shouldn't watch something. And if you guys still defend Whistling Diesel and every other thumbnail is, I got arrested for doing something illegal, cops suck, then good on you, brother. Seems like a good way to sell engines. People only watch for the carnage now. Our stock engine with the Whipple package makes $1,000. But he sent me chunks of oily pistons and oil pans when I bought a t-shirt. Imagine it's like in the t-shirt. The Barzilla Latina Dakar is a community. Steve Moore's video title is Stang Mode doesn't have an MBRP deleter. MBRP deleter? My goodness.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
You notice how I have that one on cue, ready to go at all times. Today I was going through my old stuff and I'm like, man, I wonder if I should put these back in the mix.
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk. That's okay.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
But we're getting into some things now that are very interesting. Electric cars.
That was an actual. That was not AI, Shelby. That's like actual Shelby.
But we're getting into some things now that are very interesting. Electric cars.
Electric car.
Stupid.
Yeah, I got all these here.
Oh yeah. Heavy duty. Heavy duty.
I'm just playing all the clips that I normally don't play.
Hellcats and track hawks. They got Timmy on the turn up in the
That's Craig Walls. Craig Walls.
Hellcats and track hawks.
Fuck. It's over.
It's over, Johnny.
I gotta put him back
It's
in.
over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
That needs to be put back in there. I'm gonna reorganize the soundboard and go there.
My nigga.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. Fuck you, you hoe. Come and say in my face, fuck you, ass for that, everybody.
Oh my God. Stan Streeta, Shug, take that.
Take that, Elon Musk.
Okay,
My
thank you.
favorite thing about this car, there's no automatic gearbox available. You have to buy the stick.
Okay. Damn. Jesus. Wet fart. Okay, we suck again?
Oh no! We suck again!
Carlito's Way. Okay, cool. I was just playing some of the old sound clips, and I might have to bring some of those back. But yeah, it's good stuff. Just kind of have to go through them. The 7.3 is way worse than the V10. It's crazy, really. So a gen for a Whipple that he goes in on these like long fucking rants. JSE Decker, JSED, J said Deck, what the fuck? Says the 6.8 V10 isn't a good performance engine, but in service trucks, they were almost bomb-proof. The company I work for had over 1,000 of them in the last year. I agree. And again, a lot of people don't understand that I said the Godzilla is a wonderful motor for your motorhome, for U-Haul, for Penske, for whatever. But as a performance variant, it's fucking stupid when you have LSs, when you have small block Fords, big block Chevys. Why would I opt for a Godzilla when I have all this shit? And before you start throwing specs out at me, this stroke, this bore, this technology, cool. Does it perform as good as 60s, 70s, 80s technology? Probably not. And you have modern technology Ford, small block Fords, modern technology, big block Fords, modern technology, big block Chevys. Why the fuck would I opt for a 7.3 liter Godzilla that the fucking timing cover and oil pan are like $3,000? Make Godzilla for kaiju power. SMX smells like jelly beans. Do I have jelly beans here? I don't think I have jelly beans. Them guts, turvy, have yourself, Streeta, Price is Right. I don't think I have jelly beans. Oh, it smells like jelly beans. I don't think I have that here. I do.
Ah, this smells like jelly beans.
Well, we ended up installing these rods, and you know what they did? They torqued them at the factory. And then when I untorqued them, I broke the rod.
Ah, this smells like jelly beans.
I forgot about these. Been needing to hear the Hellcats and Trackhawks. Off topic, but a stage... T56. But Alex, 17 years ago, you had a different opinion. You're telling me you changed your opinion? Why did you change your opinion? I thought your opinion was static for the rest of life, for eternity. Yeah, it's perfect for pickups and dump trucks. If you have a F100 and you want to go to a junkyard and maybe get a cheap Godzilla, fuck it all day. Get it, throw it in there, and get 4,500 RPMs of pleasure. Cool. If you want oh shit power, you throw a Coyote in there. Alex, is there any set of cats that that are okay with boost? Getting to that age where I don't feel like smelling it anymore. Yeah, so if you talk to Chuck Wazarinsky, he's tested these with a customer that made 1,000 wheel, and it had emissions compliance all over it. So you have a bunch of different ones here. Let me see. Is there a about us, contact us, products? So if you look at the GESI catalytic converters, they have G Sport stuff, Gen 1 HO, Gen 2 up to 800 horse, Gen 2 HO, UHO, UHO, and UHOX. So there's obviously a diameter and power rating, right? So if Gen 2 Advanced, G Sport, UHO, and EPA core only up to 1,000 horsepower, and they weigh this much, and this is the body diameter and the overall length. For the Billy Badass stuff, looks to be the Gen 2 Advanced, G Sport, UHO, and EPA, $1,096, EPA compliant, yes, okay? And then they tell you all the specs. So there you go. I mean, GESI seems to have a really good lock on high-end horsepower catalytic converters, and there is a smell associated with it. If you have a non-catted pump gas car, I guarantee your shirt smells like 93 when you come home, regardless whether it's a brand new car or not. Donnie was telling me the other day, I got, free-flowing exhaust in my 2024 F-150 with a Magnuson blower on it, and he goes, dude, it stinks. And I don't have exhaust leaks. 93 octane, it just reeks. So if you wanted to, and sound, let's be honest. Some of us are searching for that nice, crisp sound that isn't loud, bullhorn, crazy. So a muffling effect could be a catalytic converter. A lot of you are adding resonators. A lot of you are adding different mufflers, when in actuality, some of the best sounding cars are turbo coyotes, and it's because the turbo is acting like a muffler, right? The exhaust housing it's acting like its own little muffler. So when you hear it at full song, you're like, it does sound really good. So you need to understand that you can be in a non-emission state and kill the smell and accentuate the sound based on the catalytic converter that's a high flowing version of it. Now, typically I say no cats on boosted vehicles. I'm saying no stock cats. Stock cats were not meant to have the heat, the cycles, the boost, everything running through them, because they're meant for NA vehicles. They're not meant for boosted vehicles. Now, the 2020 and up GT500 catalytic converter should be studied. The Hellcat, believe it or not, the Hellcat Red Eye and other variant catalytic converters should be studied because it has a big diameter. They make big power through bone stock exhaust, cat included. So take that for what you will. Hatch says, didn't see the 1200 ones last time. Exactly. People saw cubic inches and thought it was going to be the second coming of the Big Block Ford when the Big Block Ford had already been perfected over the years. The 4.6 liter in my 2011 E250 work van is bulletproof. Doesn't mean it's good. Actually, Alex, the 7.3 sucks in the commercial applications. We've had multiple brand new trucks getting engines changed before 1,000 miles. My 6.8 service truck had 28,000 engine hours. Okay, then I stand corrected. Steve Morris, I ate pizza on a leaf. E85 for the win. Like, we out drinking. But does the exhaust smell like jelly beans? Is the Magnum not a fair amount of work to swap and loose rev matching? If you want to keep rev matching, keep the stock transmission in it. That's all I can tell you, brother. Thanks, man. Dude, it fucking stinks. Plus, yeah, it sounds way, way better with cats. Like, loud, but not obnoxious. Steve Morris, I take Vikings and rebrand them under my name. That's funny. I learned about summer/winter blend gas. Should you take things easy during winter blend months and temps below 50 degrees for boosted cars? Let me ask you a question. Do you live somewhere that it snows? So I owned a Mustang in the Northeast. I never raced between the months of like November and March. Winter blend gas, salt on the roads, sand on the roads. It wasn't even a thought to go wide open throttle. And then the roads really clean up like in May because they do the street sweeping. You get the sand and salt out of it. Everything goes. Now the roads are good for about 4 months. And that's when I would race. So I guess common sense has to come into play eventually. John Lucas says, we use the EPA-approved G-Sport on our 1,000 wheel horsepower GT500 package. Only one failure. Started rattling and we replaced it. Have installed probably 100 by now. So think about it. Fat House, the preeminent Mustang aftermarket shop that I know of, installs the G-Sport on their 1,000 wheel horsepower GT500 packages and have only had one failure, and they've installed over 100. That says a lot. Another Sunday, another sermon from Alex. Why don't more Coyote guys use a Nissan Trans? Good gearing. They handle high horsepower, 2J, and they can be built for serious power. Maybe they don't know about it. Hatch. Maybe they need to look into it. I need resonators on my car. My exhaust is honestly ridiculously loud. Dude, it's just an assist. Learn to do it yourself. It's pretty cool. I must admit, it's kind of hard to not downshift rev match when you have it. Even Perdomo, who is a accomplished road racer, he's like, this is cheating. Alex, I had to learn to heel toe. This is cheating. Alex, what do you think about the new 6.8 liter Mustang? J-Switch, I do it myself. The car comes with a feature, not looking loose. It's lose. 1-0. Steve Morris, pre-Civil War rights is my favorite time in history. They're so loud. Okay. Can we get a hot take on Cletus's newfound NASCAR career? You're going to be amazed with my take. I think he should do it. And I think it's on brand. I think NASCAR is full of nepotism. NASCAR, you need to bring something to the table. A lot of the times, you need to have $1 million. You know what I mean? Like a lot of NASCAR people, like Richard Childress isn't just going to go, you know what? There's a kid over there who's pretty decent and he has 0 following, but we might be able to develop him into something. Or he can say, I don't know, Cletus has the backing of, obviously he has connections, right? So he's got Dale Earnhardt. He knew Greg Biffle before he passed away. So those two guys alone are big names in NASCAR. And Richard Childress must have been like, I mean, he's got 4.1 million fans, retarded fans, but they're fans. So I don't know. I'll sign him to a 3-race development deal and see how he does. Nothing wrong with that. And it is on brand. Regardless of what I think of how he came to be, this is absolutely on brand. He was saying do it for Dale. He was saying all this stuff, right? So obviously he was cosplaying as a NASCAR-like person and then became a big YouTube guy. The weird thing is when people say he goes 6s in the quarter mile, I'm like, that does not equate to NASCAR stuff. But at the end of the day, he has fast car experience. So much experience that some NASCAR guys couldn't do what he does right now. Could they learn to do it? Absolutely. I think Kyle Busch can absolutely get in a 5-second capable drag radio car and within a weekend handle it. I think so, because it's a chassis and reaction time thing. But the weird thing is the people that say because he runs 6s or 5s, he can be good in NASCAR. No, that's not how it works. But I think he can be good in NASCAR if he has proper tutoring. He has Dale Earnhardt in his corner. He knew Greg Biffle. And he seems to have a passion for NASCAR. Again, not my thing. But it is his thing. And it is so on brand, it's crazy to criticize the move. I think it's really crazy. Like if Kyle Busch was like, fuck that guy. My son's got more races under his belt. Cool. But does your son have 4 million followers? It's a business decision. Kyle Petty, right? Kyle Petty. Nepotism of all nepotism. His father was the king. And they just shoved him in a car because his last name was Petty. Earnhardt Jr., you could make the case, but he made a name for himself and he actually won races and did well. Won the Daytona 500. Big, look, he was a legitimate racer and he was the emotional, once he went away, I think NASCAR was like, like anything Earnhardt. But the thing with Garrett Mitchell, a.k.a. Cletus, you're going to have a come to Jesus moment. You're going to have a come to Jesus moment. You're going to go, wait a minute, was he making fun of us by making fun of NASCAR culture? Then he's trying to get into the culture? Or was he legitimately into NASCAR stuff, somehow fell into it because there's money to be made, and now he's getting opportunities because of it? At the end of the day, there is nothing more on brand than Cletus, the character, Garrett Mitchell, the person, to get a development deal. And honestly, NASCAR fucking sucks, okay? Like, could you watch NASCAR right now? I couldn't stand to watch 5 minutes of NASCAR. Why? It's not what it used to be. It doesn't have carburetors. It doesn't have 900 horsepower, and they're not going 212 miles an hour down the straight. They have a very cookie cutter car that is highly regulated, and everyone kind of runs together in a pack and whatever. It needs something. For better or worse, it is insanely on brand to bring Cletus into NASCAR. And you might think, Alex, right, not my thing, but I'm not a psychopath. I understand that. Yeah, I went, when I saw that move, I went, that makes total sense. Like, immediately I went, that makes total sense. Now, again, you're going to have the come to Jesus moment, whether this is a good or bad thing for the sport, based on how he got here. But I think it is insanely, and Richard Childress is no stupid motherfucker. He knows what he's doing. He's like, three race development deal. We'll see how it goes. If you put the fucker into the wall 2 times, we're done. Right? And that's it. I don't care, but I think it's a smart business decision for him to do so. That's it. Carrie Earnhardt fail. Exactly. How is it different than Deegan? How is it different than Pastrana? Pastrana, huge fan base, tried, sucked. Danica Patrick, hot, pain in the ass, sucked, gone. So now this guy that actually races shit gets a shot, and you guys are salty? Come on. And again, I'm no fan of his, But I'm not stupid. This is a good business decision. I get it, Scott. And NA car, man, watch out. I got you. Get an RST. Pick your own flywheel, Barton Hybrid 3, and a 456 gear. Jesus Christ. You don't need a Magnum for NA shit. Exactly. Always thought that was his end goal. His fans are basically NASCAR fans. Exactly. Like peanut butter and jelly. True, NASCAR doesn't have the energy anymore, so relying on good personalities is what they have to do now. I can't watch NASCAR. I used to look forward to a NASCAR race when it was Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and the pre-Car of Tomorrow cars. Boy, them bitches were bad. Carbureted 9,000. You hear the in-car, you're like, oh, that's so badass. Now, whatever. Only time I watch NASCAR is when I visit my dad, and it's only interesting at the end. Kyle Busch is either going to be proven correct or he's going to be wrong about what he said about Cleat. The Dick Trickle days are long gone. NASCAR is insanely boring now. Pastrana was 15-time gold medal rally. No. Again, but he had no experience in NASCAR. But they brought him in. Once NASCAR went away from actual OEM body shells to start from, it lost its draw when they had lug nuts. Yeah, now they have that. Now it's one thing. I don't watch NASCAR anymore because what I liked about it went away. And again, that's fine. I don't watch F1 anymore. It's so good. It's so good, bro. I love you. Coyote Kelly. What an absolute 3. Could you imagine if that happened? Woo! Oh, that'd be so fun. Oh, I'd have a field day if he ended up driving the Jimmy John's car. For those of you that don't know, go down the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole before you start saying this motherfucker was grassroots. Get out of here. He's done well for himself. Congratulations. He got a shot at NASCAR. Congratulations. Love it for him. Love it for NASCAR. I don't like NASCAR because it's not what it used to be. And we'll go a little long today because we're having a good time. So, NASCAR in-car video pre-COT. Pre-COT. Pre-Car of Tomorrow. NASCAR motion say helmet crash. NASCAR wrecks before it got No, I don't like any of the Car of Tomorrows. But they did have the old NASCAR Jeff Gordon. Let me see. Jeff Gordon in car. I'm trying to find like inside 9,000 RPM dumb shit. But these are all Car of Tomorrow cars. Oh man, I can't find it. Anyway, do yourselves a favor. I was trying to find in-car NASCAR pre-Car of Tomorrow. Like the cool car. Things get heated between Jeff Gordon and Carl Edwards. Okay, let me see. See if we got it. I'm trying not to get copyrighted. Because they'll... Can you just fucking pause? Let me see. Is there like in-car like... That's not the Car of Tomorrow. I think those are the old cars. Let me see. Let me see the outside view. Let me see. Yeah, these are old. Yeah, Carl Edwards was around when the Fusions and everything like that. These are the old school NASCAR and Jeff Gordon. This is when I watched. Guys, I watched this shit all the time.
Still working the top. Trying to look outside. Real tight on your quarter. Outside. He's outside. Give him room on exit. He's real tight. Outside. Still there.
Is there telemetry? I think one of them had telemetry. Okay, let me see. There was like, I could have sworn one of them had telemetry, and it was like 9,000 RPMs. It was so cool sounding. It was like bad. I mean, guys, that was big ball having Billy Badass motherfuckers back in the day, okay? Go back and watch some of those old NASCAR races, and it was, these guys were absolutely going to 205, like 205, fucking like this in the fucking, and I'm like, oh, again, NA, 9,000 RPMs. If you watch the telemetry, you see the thing at 9,000, and this thing is like, I'm like, whoa. Now it's like they're all fucking together. They're all going 185, and I'm like, I don't care. How are you going 185? I am a psychopath. How are you going 185 now? I thought we'd be going 240. Like, again, F1, V10, badass, right? Stupid. Great sound. Fast, too. Then they put all this bullshit in it, slowed it down, made it quiet. And even Verstappen is like, this is like a mix between, you know, F1 battery series, whatever they call that, and this. So I was kind of blown away by that whole situation. Car of Tomorrow, old school now. Goddamn, where did time go? Yes, pre-Car of Tomorrow was when, like, the most badass shit everywhere. Cockpit view is insane for 500 miles is crazy. It started going downhill after Days of Thunder was released. Back in my day moment. Again, those cars, pre-Car of Tomorrow, would absolutely destroy the modern car. Tell me different. Tell me different that pre-COT cars would beat the ever-living shit out of the current cars. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. You used to watch the old NASCAR All-Star races? Dude, those are great. Now, it's a watered-down version of itself. So, if they need to bring in a famous YouTuber that does race things to spice things up, good for them. I'm gone. Until you bring back some dumb shit, I'm not watching. It needs to go back to 80s speed. 210, 212 down the shit. Now, 180, 180, 190. I don't know what the fuck happened. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Went a little long, but it was good because we were having fun. So we talked a little bit about everything about buying a Lund tuned car is for a performance, from a performance vehicle aspect, is as good as buying a certified pre-owned vehicle because you know it was tuned by the best. You know the data is available. You know we have a history of it, and we can absolutely give you the peace of mind that that car was vetted and runs parts that we think are good for it in the long run. And if the car is Lund tuned, was Lund tuned, and was sold to you as a Lund tuned vehicle, you can kind of have like that assurance that it was vetted, running well, and not many issues are going to come up with it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'll have go to the gym, do my normal Sunday, and work on the Corvette some more, doing some plumbing on the oil system and the vacuum system. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I will see a lot of you guys tonight on the dating channel at 9 p.m. Dating channel tonight. Got a lot of things to talk about. Gonna be a good time, so check that out. If not, I'll check you guys out on Patreon, and the rest of you, I'll see you on Sunday, 8 p.m. for Talking Shit Tuesday. Have a good rest of your Sunday, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.